Hello and welcome to another very excited tutorial. My name is Muhammad Amir and today's episode we are gonna be take a walkthrough through Adobe After Effects. So basically in this episode we are looking for some common things in Adobe After Effects and some basic tips and tricks. So after watching this tutorial you will be ready to use After Effects for your first time. So let's get started. Alright, if you first time open your Adobe After Effects, so you get a welcome screen look like this, and here is the recent project that I use in After Effects. Here is the list of the projects and here is the path, and here is a new composition icon. Here is open project if you want to open any other project. Here is the help and support center and also some basic videos from Adobe. And here is the close option. By the way, if you don't want to see your welcome screen again, so make sure you have click on this button and uncheck this little box, show welcome screen at startup. I always click this because I want to show this welcome screen every time, because if I'm working on a project and then I close the project now and after some time I start again my project, so I got the list here. Okay, so click on the close button or you can simply click on the cross. So here is the workspace that is very important for you. This is standard workspace, but you can choose animations, effect and other things. So just for now I'm going to effects and this will be changed. Everything is changed in this. Basically After Effects workspace is looking very complicated at this time, but I'm very sure if you start using Adobe After Effects you're gonna be in love with this software. This is a amazing software in animations line. Okay, so here is the project panel. The files you import, the file you made inside Adobe After Effects, all the file will show here. Here is the effect control. If you apply any effect to the layer, that will be show right here. Here is your toolbar. Here is menu bar. And here is your work area. Here is your screen area. Here is your single layer and footage. Here is your paragraph setting, character settings, information, preview and effects and preset as well. If you want to work inside Adobe After Effects, then you have to first make your composition. Composition is just like you're making a new file in Adobe Photoshop and some other softwares. So here is the two way to create your composition. First go to composition option and make new composition. Control N is a short key, or you can simply click on this little icon here, create a new composition. So let me click here. So here is the composition setting. What kind of setting I want for my project. Here is the resolution of the screen 1920 by 1080, and here is some preset you can directly choose from here. Like if you want to work on 720p, then you can click here, or you can simply type here 19 by 20 by 1080. Alright, here is the composition name. Here is frame rate, what you want. Usually I use 29.97 frame per second, and here is the resolution. You can change the resolution anytime in your composition, not affecting in your work quality, your output quality. This is just a temp resolution, you know. Let me set this on full. Start duration 00, 10 seconds is good. Background color, by the way, in Adobe CC you can change the background color in your composition area. Like if I use something should be matched from my company color. Alright, hit OK and then hit OK. Alright, so this color does not affect in your work because this is just a reference color. You can also click on the toggle transparency option so you can see nothing here. My composition is here. Composition is ready to go. 10 seconds long. Here is the current time indicator. If I move this indicator, nothing will happen because my composition is empty. This is just like a blank paper. You can draw, you can make animations inside your paper. For example, if you want to change your composition setting anytime, you got two options. You can go to composition and then composition setting, and here you can change all the setting that you made early. For example, let me type this animation 1 and then hit OK. So you can see the composition name change here and also change here, and the short key is Ctrl K for the composition setting. You can again bring the window of composition setting. Alright, now it's time to make some animation and fun. Okay, I'm using shape layers for this tutorial. You can use anything you want. I'm just giving you an introduction of this thing, what is Adobe After Effects. Okay, first we are gonna make a background for this composition. So let me right click here and then new and solid. And by the way, you can also go to the layer option and then go to new option and new solid. Ctrl Y is the shortcut. Okay, let me choose any color you want, no matter, because we are gonna be change this color later. Here is the name of your solid. Like I'm using this solid for the background, so I type BG here. And let me check the settings. This will be matched from my composition setting. If you have like something this here, so you can click on make comp size. So automatically the new solid will be matched with your composition setting. Hit OK. Okay, boom, we have a layer here. Now if I click on the toggle switches, so I got this layer. Nothing will be transparent because I have a layer in my background. Okay, if I want to apply some effects on this footage, let me bring the effect and preset here, and I type ramp. Here is a gradient ramp. This is the effect. By the way, you can also go to the effect, and under the effect setting you can go to generate tab, and let me find the generate, because I'm not using this menu. I always prefer to type the effects name here and then use, but for the demonstration purpose I am gonna tell you, you can make sure you have select your layer that you want to apply the effect and then go to apply, generate, and I am gonna be find an effect called gradient ramp. Okay, there we go. This will be applied on your layer and this is the color of your layer. But as you can apply your gradient ramp, this effect and control panel open here, and if you don't see this, and you can click on the close accidentally, so you can go to the Windows option and then you can again active your effect controls like this. Okay, so first I am gonna change the ramp shape to linear to radial, and then I am click on the start of ramp, hold down my shift key for grade and snapping review, and I come to the center and then click here. Okay, now just swipe color, so I change my color. As you can see, the color will swipe each other, and then I am gonna be change this color to something look like nice, something maybe like this. Okay, and then hit on the OK. This will be good. You can choose any color, like if you want something like this, no problem, you can choose anywhere. You can choose your colors, any type of your imaginations you can apply here, but I'm okay with that. Now let me use the shape layers. I am gonna be make a rectangular first here, hold down the shift key, so I got a proper axis. Okay, here is the tip. If your layer is selected, any layer, no matter your video layer, your picture, your solid, your adjustment layer, anything, if your layer is selected and then you use your shape layer. So basically you are making a masking. So if you want to make a new shape, make sure you have select nothing from here and then click here. I'm holding the shift key for the proper axis and also hold the alt key, so I got a center axis point. Okay, I make this box here pretty nice. I am happy with that. Let me close these arrows and then back to my select tool here. Okay, so I got a box and I got a background. Let me tell you some basics of animations that will be ever used in your animations. No matter what are you doing, you are doing text animation, you are doing character animations, you are doing commercial animation. Let me tell you some principle of the animation. First, we are working with the transparency. If you are familiar with Adobe Photoshop and some other applications, so you have the idea what is transparency. Transparency is transparent thing you can see through, like a glass and some kind of plastic things you can say. Okay, so first if you press T from your keyboard, so you bring this option, opacity option. We call it transparency, but inside Adobe After Effects we call it opacity. Here is currently set 100, no see-through. If I made two shapes, for example, let me change the color. Something should be, I guess, yeah, perfect. No, maybe something like this. Okay, make another shape and bring just about there. Okay, so now we have two shapes. One is red, orangish red you can say, and one is sky color. So if I press the T for opacity or transparency, and if I change this value from here, you can see convert into transparent thing, and we are able to see through this box. And if I move here and here and here, everywhere, you can see we are basically gonna see through here. But the color change here in this side because 54% is this, and then the remaining other 46% showing here, so the color will be look like this. So if I again set to 100, it will be fully a solid thing, and if I go to 0, this will be nothing. Okay, so this is transparency. By the way, you can also animate this thing. For example, if I come to 0, nothing here, I am gonna be click on the little stop icon here. This is a very important thing. We call this thing keyframes inside Adobe After Effects, and if I click here, so we make this little dot. This is the keyframe that we make, and if I go to 1 2 3 4 40 frames and I type here 100, and then if I move my current time indicator, so you are watching, we are making this effect. Here is nothing. By the way, I'm gonna press the space bar from my keyboard. First let me short this composition. Okay, so you can see first is nothing, then it's convert to 100% hard. Boom, there we go. This is called transparency or opacity inside Adobe After Effects. So keep this thing in your mind. You can use this thing anywhere in your text title. For example, let me type my title here. Let me change the size to 100. A productions tutorial. By the way, if you not subscribe our channel, please click on the little subscribe icon. It can take only 1 second. Then click on the bell button so you get every update from us. Okay, so if I copy these all keyframes, I'm click on the opacity word and then click here and Control C from my keyboard and then select my text layer and Control V. So basically I am gonna paste these keyframes from here to here. But here is a difference. These keyframes are going from start frame to 40 frames, but these frames are going to almost 14 frame to something like 46 frame. So why this difference? Let me tell you. Before we are applying our effect, make sure where is your CTI. This will be start from where is your current time indicator. If I come to the start of this thing and I select this and Control V and I press my space bar, so you can see making effect at the same time. So basically you got an idea how to use your transparency and opacity option in Adobe After Effects. You can apply this thing anywhere in your animations. Okay, and if you accidentally click on this little watch, so you lost your all keyframes from this layer. No matter you have 100 keyframes, you have 5,000 keyframes, you have 1 keyframe. If you click again here, for the first time you have to click, but after that never click on this little icon. If you click, you lost your things. Okay, so I hope the transparency thing is done. Let me change this name to opacity here, and let me change the size something like this, and we take this here. Okay, perfect. Now we are going to make another example called scale. Scale also is a very usable thing. Let me change the spelling. Alright, scale is the second basic point of your animation. Scaling the thing like you are growing your size of your text, your layers, your characters, anything you can say. So for example, let's play with the scale. As we play with the transparency, it's time to play with the scale. Okay, I am gonna be click on this little icon. By the way, if you press the S key from your keyboard, you got this option, scale, and if I click this little dot, I can move this anywhere. So let me move it to the 40 frames and let me type it 0. Okay, the thing is gone. And if I click on my spacebar from my keyboard, so as you can see, your thing is growing up from 0% scale to, if you can closely look here, 0% to 100%. Okay, this will be something look nice. That's why I love the animation, because you can make everything inside Adobe After Effects. This is an amazing application. Okay, so the next point we are gonna be talk about position. What is position? If you are familiar with any animations application, you must know what is position. Basically, there is two type of positions. If you are working with 2D layers, you have two axes, X and Y. If you are working with 3D modeling or 3D environment, so you got another axis called Z axis. So at this time we are making a 2D work here. So we go, if I press the P letter from my keyboard, so I got these two values. Like if I change this value, we go something like this, and if I click on this value, we go something like this. But if I click on the text and I move it, so you can see we are changing X and Y values at the same time. Okay, so again we are gonna be use the same keyframe settings. I click on the position here and I come to beginning of my document, and let me change the position. Click here, hold down the shift key, so I got a straight line. And let me change from the top. I guess, yeah, top is best for this examples because we have a lot of space between these two keyframes. Okay, so if I press the space bar from my keyboard, you can see everything is going perfect. Let me off these two things just for a moment. By the way, you can temporarily turn off your layers by clicking this little eye icon that you got from every layer at the very beginning. If you miss this point, right click here, go to here, and then you set AV features and some other things that never show here. Alright, so let me come to the beginning of this document and hit the space bar. Okay, boom, there we go. We got our text from top to bottom. And let me turn on these two layers also. Perfect. So as you can see, we play with three basic things: transparency, called opacity, and scale, and then position. So we got a nice animation here. Alright guys, hope you found this tutorial helpful. Wait for my next tutorial. In the next tutorial we are talking about how you can import your files inside Adobe After Effects and how you can use your Photoshop layers inside Adobe After Effects, how you can make something nice animations inside Adobe After Effects. For this tutorial, I think you are a beginner, and the three things keep in your mind: practice with your computer, practice with your applications, practice with your own text, your own shapes. You can use any shape, by the way. If you hold down your mouse button here, so you got a pop-up window, and you can use any type of shape layer here, and you can also make different kind of experiments with your shapes. So for this tutorial, I think this is enough for you guys. My name is Muhammad Amir. If you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe. My name is Muhammad Amir. See you next time.